The new Deaf Bonce Apocalypse subwoofers, review and crash test. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Hi everyone! So a lot of people have been waiting for information about our new line of subwoofers, and so today we've placed in a symbolic kind of manner a few subwoofers which have been on sale for about 3 years. Production started in 2015. I installed them into a Ford S-Max in 2015. The 2113 was finished quite some time before that. It sported the very first Series 4 units. That car was put together in Rostov. But anyway, what year was that? AMT. That was in 2015. Right, so that was also 2015. If you recall, in 2015 the 2113 was fitted with 5 415 series Bonces. The system was put together by Team Stradivari Original. Afterwards we removed them and threw in 4 315s. The car went through a whole season on that setup. And they brought back the old setup for the next season. Yes, for the 2017 season, which just wrapped up. The car was fitted with the Series 4 units which were installed the first time around. Yep. Everybody saw what these subwoofers were capable of in a 2113. It's been rocking them for 3 seasons in a row. I've been driving a Hummer for 2 seasons fitted with these exact speakers. These speakers formed the basis for a reliable sound system. Good not only for listening to some tunes, but also for breaking records. If we're talking about records in musical classes, there are a couple of renowned cars worth mentioning. The first serious record was set by Dmitry Aborin, who was rocking a total of 8,312 subs at the time. And the average result for 1 minute was 163.92 decibels. That system had a peak frequency of 42 Hz. The following year, that record was surpassed by Nikolai Ryabov, who had 12 15s. He was only able to squeeze out another 300ths. A lot of people have heard about our projects. Well, not only ours. I mean about other cars utilizing these same subs. All of them carried on pumping for quite a while. I doubt that you've heard about these models having any issues during competition. In my case, these subs handle 40 kilowatts in car audio, multimedia and tuning competition. I can't even imagine how many kilowatts they've churned out these 2 past years. I remembered something. Vinnikov's windshield popped out during the finals. And he carried on without it. It was all in his video. Can you imagine how much load you have to take off the speaker when you don't even have a windscreen? And you still keep on pumping with no worries. Anyway, this year we've released a new line called not just Deaf Bonce, but Deaf Bonce Apocalypse. It's a refresh of both Series 3 and 4. We've also got neodymium subwoofers. I've got one stashed away right here. I'm just itching to show it to you guys. Albeit this is a review of our ferrite core models. This here is a Series 3 unit. A musical neodymium speaker for the most hardcore users. It has an American-made 3-inch coil, it's packed with neodymium, and it's a true musical subwoofer. See for yourself. I genuinely love this thing. If I still had that S-Max, I'd be glad to fit it with 12 12s, and Artyom would go back to 8 15s, right? Maybe 16 12s. We also have another big subwoofer that we put in the 2107. We cut out a box for it for one subwoofer. How much did it produce? 155.3? Yeah, guys, a lot of people thought that this subwoofer was the only one. And so Alphard Group presented this speaker for those who aren't satisfied with 18s. It's a 21-inch subwoofer with a powerful neodymium magnet, a super strong American-made 5-inch coil. These will find their way into a few project cars. These project cars will be ready for the new season. We won't talk about them yet. Let it be a surprise. Leave your guesses in the comments as to how many 21-inch speakers we'll be putting into our car, which is quite large.
In the club getting faded, I wanna leave with you. This bar's overrated, I know you want some too. So come get your treasure, you gotta work for your prize. I know time couldn't measure.
Now let's get to our new line of subwoofers. Here they are on the table. The situation is the same as it was. Artyom has the Series 4, I've got the Series 3, as you've probably noticed. You can't really see it on pictures from the internet, but video is a completely different story. These are completely different subwoofers, with increased output, and a completely revamped magnet and coil system. The coils themselves are now American-made. The motor force both for the Series 3 and 4 has been increased by 25%. This thing also utilizes a pack consisting of two double plates, which are attached to the basket using a pressure ring. It's fastened tight, with hex bolts which are sealed with some glue, so you won't ever have any issues with the moving parts. These subwoofers received a bump in power output, and so the Series 4 pumps out 3.5 kilowatts RMS instead of 3, while the Series 3 is rated at 2,800 watts. The first version used to be 2.5 kilowatts, now it's up 300 watts to 2,800. Here's what we're gonna do. Using the Series 3 as an example, I'll give you an up-close look at the speaker and show what changes were made. For starters, let's look at it up front. We have a carbon cap, plus our new Deaf Bonce logo, our trademark green stitching. Moving along, as I said, we use a different surround, and here engraved we have the Apocalypse logo. The ring itself is more substantial, and here's a milled facet right here. The speaker itself looks pretty cool, and it's gonna get even better when we have a look at the motor and the coil through the ventilation outlets. So you can see how massive the speaker is from this perspective. You can see the new motor. This here is a Series 3 unit, with a brand new motor utilizing a completely new coil. This version utilizes an American-made coil, a 4-layer American-made aluminum coil. The basket has also been redesigned. It has Deaf Bonce logos all around. What other changes we got? The mounting plate remains unchanged. So basically it's a plate pack, which mounts to the basket with some bolts holding down some plastic spacers. The build quality raises no questions. Everything's nice, neat, and reliable. The sprung wire terminals are exactly the same as on the previous versions. The supply leads are integrated into the plate, of course, and they're duplex. The speaker motor is covered by special rubber casing, which not only serves as protection, but for cosmetic purposes as well. This makes the speaker look much more balanced than if we were to see a stack of exposed magnets. If you're worried about speaker cooling, or if you're installing a band pass within an enclosure, then the rubber casing can be repaired. But if you're doing an open installation, then I'd recommend you also leave the rubber cover in place, since it looks way better that way. Plus there are a bunch of logos which show that you're rocking Deaf Bonce. On the backside we see that there is no ventilation, but we do have a pretty little Deaf Bonce logo which is engraved right here in the metal. We specifically got it engraved into the metal. And from this angle you can see how exactly the surround is attached to the speaker basket. In conclusion, I'd like to say that this isn't just a new speaker. It carries forward our traditions in making subwoofers and an SPL. This speaker incorporates our experience drawn from the previous version in creating our competition-class neodymium subwoofers. So these do implement some of the technology that we used there. So what do we got here? Given the same budget, we've increased power, reliability, the end result being more volume in your vehicles. These speakers can be used not only for achieving maximum results, but also for enjoying some loud music. And I'm talking some seriously loud music. And now we come to the segment called "You Could Have Given That to Me" production. We've prepared a special little scene for you here. Go for it! Anyway guys, we have plenty of tables, so we decided to make things more interesting. We're gonna try to break through 2 tables with this subwoofer. The test will be complete as soon as we switch the speaker on and show you how it works, as soon as we finish this crash test. That last attempt didn't work, but we have yet another table, since this episode's sponsor happens to be IKEA. Yup, IKEA. So we'll take another crack at it. Victor will lift the speaker a bit higher. Lifting this speaker should actually make a decent workout. You ready? Yeah. 1, 2... Okay, so the speaker itself looks okay. The magnets aren't displaced. You can see from here. This wasn't easy to do. 3. How many tables was that, Artyom? 4? 4 tables. The first one was by itself, then 1 out of 2, so the Deaf Bonce broke through 4 tables in total. And it sustained 0 damage. We just have to dust it off a bit. Yup. Well, the core seems to be a bit. A few small scratches. Those aren't scratches, that's just, yeah. Even the wire terminals are okay, so they didn't break off. You want to maybe turn it on? Yeah. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. I take the time, get me rich. Got the thoughts so intact. Dog from ground to decay. Made a bill from a stack of shit. Got a bill for the bag. Hit that bitch from the bay. Say you run with the bay. Miss my face with that shit. You say that you bring the fuck back. Say I'm always so cold. Told the story to know. In the facts that I say, I live in the north of the gold. And yeah, I'm so